All right, school. Welcome back. Thirsty Thursday. It's Thursday, right? Yeah, it's Thursday. Episode 28 of the School of Shred. I'm your host, John Reed. Welcome to the show, everybody. You want results, right? We do. We want to get in better shape. We want better health. We want a better life. This is holistic health. This is the School of Shred and the show that is designed to help you shred your old and make better your new. So I thank you for tuning in. Today's episode is going to be about training muscles, not motions. We're going to get into that and figure this thing out together. If you guys are watching this live, go ahead and jump in the comments and let me know where you're at, where you're watching from. Throw a little flex emoji. Like I say, I like to see a little bit of muscle early in the morning. That's always nice. And shout out to everybody who's already got a workout in today. All you beautiful people out there who may have already got your body right today. Good job. If you guys want to learn more about this topic and other topics that I talk about, visit schoolofshredpodcast.com and you can learn more. On that website, you can actually join the school's email list and receive a free 10-part holistic health series. It's a full curriculum that I've given to my clients in the past, and I'm giving that away to you for free just for supporting the school and heading to schoolofshredpodcast.com and signing up and joining the email list for good content coming in the future. So with that said, let's get started. Episode 28. Train muscles, not motions. I did this course called RTS, and it was a great look into mechanics and a deep dive and really a resetting after being a trainer for 7 years at that point. Very humbling experience. Favorite course I've done. And we talked a lot about this idea of, you got to know your goal. And when we know the goal, what are we really trying to do? And we want to try and enhance our health and our body. And then I've internalized that in my own way. And so this train muscles, not motions is great, because when we look at exercises and the mechanics of these exercises, say if I have a client and they're squatting and they're leaning far forward, well, there's mechanical realities there that might be a reason that they have to lean really far forward, whereas somebody else might be able to stay very upright and it might be a very quadricep dominant squat and they might be developing their quads, whereas a person leaning very far forward and leaning forward, that's going to be glute, lower back, really hip dominant movement. And so if you start to explore these mechanical realities that happen within exercise based on a case-by-case basis, I mean, everybody's got different mechanics. It starts to raise the question of, are we trying to just train motions like, I don't know, most articles online say we should, or are we trying to train muscles? And for my clients, every time I have a consultation, it's muscles. And something that's very common in consultations when I sit down with a client is they say, I want a bigger bench press. All you go-getter, all you guys out there, you want that big chest. And they want a bigger bench press. And so what I ask them is, okay, so you want a big chest? Yep. You want a bigger bench press? Yep. Okay, so what if I could get you a bigger chest without ever getting on a barbell bench press? Would you be open to that? And they say, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I just thought that you needed to have a big, strong bench press to be able to get a big chest. And you don't have to. There's many ways that you don't have to be married to one exercise. And this is going to piss a lot of people off, probably trainers, because people think that there's like these must do exercises. You have to do them. The reality is every exercise comes down to a specific joint action. Okay. And so when we do a press, our humerus right now, our upper arm is coming across the body. It's horizontal. It's glenohumeral horizontal adduction. Okay. When we do a chest fly, it's the same exact motion. It's the same motion. except for you might be a little more externally rotated at that humerus. So with that said, what are we really doing? If we want to develop the chest and the pecs for this particular client that I'm talking about, do we have to do a press? Well, we need to do some type of glenohumeral adduction, horizontal adduction, right? Which is a big nerdy term for the arm coming across the midline of the body. Yeah. So to get into tell you guys a story, I had a client earlier this week that I was training, and we were talking about this whole idea of the PR, because we have these books in training and people are, we write down their numbers. And so on a workout to workout basis, clients want to know, hey, well, it helps inspire me to know what I did before so I can try and beat that today. And that's what this client asked. He said, hey, it inspires me to help to know like how much weight we did on the last workout so I can try and beat it. And I said, I want to challenge you with something. I say, over time, it's very important for muscles to get stronger. And yes, you will be able to move more load. But going into an exercise trying to beat your PR from before might actually cause an issue. And the reason it'll cause an issue and the potential issue comes if you start to speed your reps up, you change the mechanics and the physiology or the physics behind the exercise. And so you're just trying to move more weight and you're moving it quicker. And so now you're training the motion and you're trying to create more load. You want to be stronger in the motion. So you're more worried about external weight than you are the sensation inside the muscle you actually want to get the stimulus to. And so it can happen real quick as if all we're doing is we're chasing PRs every time we're in the gym. The way you execute the exercise is going to start to degrade over time. It will likely degrade over time because all you care about is trying to get more weight on the bar. So what we want to do is keep ourselves really honest with our rep cadence, our rep tempo, know our goal, what muscle we're trying to train. And we want to work smarter, not harder. Someone just commented. Shout out, somebody commenting. But we want to work harder, not smarter. And then we can work harder. So when we work smarter first, then we can work harder. We're not on team no sweat here at the School of Shred. Okay? We're not on team no sweat, but we want to be smart about our efforts. Because it's something that I've fallen into in my own training in the past, which is I want to get more weight up. That becomes the most important thing. And it's confusing. You don't know what makes muscles grow and what gets me to my goal of having a better body. What gets me that goal? Is it adding more weight and throwing that weight around? Or is it going slow and this time under tension thing that people talk about? And it depends on the goal. Why are you doing the exercise? Is it to develop a muscle? Then you might want to consider some things that we're going to get into here. And damaging muscles is ultimately what stabilizes blood sugar, increases your insulin sensitivity, increases blood flow, and creates that cognitive goodness that we chase, the brain function, and increases brain function. Body function. Muscles are the things that do that. And so if we start doing movements and we start compensating through them and we're getting more weight up, but we're not damaging the tissues as much, it's not going to have such an effect on our blood glucose, insulin sensitivity. And furthermore, we can actually put ourselves at risk for orthopedic issues down the line. Because we only have one cartilage system, folks. And once that's gone, it's gone. Then you have arthritis, pain, things like that. We want to stay away from that. And so when I see all these different folks out there pushing, you must do this exercise, you must do this, you must go this far down on a squat, and you must do this. It shows me that people aren't looking at individual mechanics. It's soundbite world. And it's hard because online you kind of got to speak in sound bites. But you show me an exercise that you must do And I'm going to show you an exercise that's made up of individual mechanics. It's all movements are, is individual joint actions that make one large movement. And so with that, a squat or a press or a curl, and insert the name of the exercise here, could be done multiple ways. There's so many ways to do it. So everything's a gradient and a continuum. You could do a press with your elbow a little bit further down, or you could come a little bit further out, depending on what the active range is in the shoulder. There's all sorts of different ways to do stuff. And this is what you got to figure out is best for you. Explore it. There are no magical exercises. There's better options, but you got to learn how to execute those options. When we train muscles, we manipulate weight to find more work and sensation inside the muscle. When we train motions, we manipulate the exercise to find less work so we can get more load on the bar. If you think of sports like powerlifting, shout out to powerlifting, there's a goal there. The goal there is to get more weight up on the bar. So they have to become extremely efficient in the way they move the bar, or the bar and the exercise. They get very, very honed in, and it's a skill set. But that's not the same goal as somebody who's trying to create more muscle tissue and be healthy and have wellness. It's not the same thing. Because at a certain point, yes, they both exercise, but at a certain point, they're going to split. Where this person's worried about wellness and they're not worried about getting a ton of weight up on the bar. And this person doesn't care if they get injured because they want to win their competition. Sports are the reason we need sports medicine. Sports are the reason we need sports medicine. In sports, you're held up on a pedestal if you get injured and you push through it. If your body's check engine light goes off and your body's trying to tell you to pull over to the side of the road, maybe pop the hood and see what's going on, and you push through that, in sports, you're glorified for it. But if our goal is health, when those check engine lights come on, we need to pay attention. We need to pull over to the side of the road. We need to pop the hood and see what's going on. And by popping the hood, we can look at all the components that make this car run, which is how each individual joint functions. That's what can get the car further down the road. So today, we can start training muscles better by knowing what the goal of the exercise is. Is the goal of the exercise booty gains? Is it a bigger chest? Is it you need to get your blood glucose down because you have high fasting glucose numbers in the morning and you want to try and get on top of this thing called insulin sensitivity? So if the goal of your exercise is that, then we might want to focus on muscle tissue and the response that we can get inside the muscle tissue. And so when you're exercising, you might want to consider focusing on creating tension inside the muscle you want to train, not just moving through the motions with your headphones blasting and you're not thinking about anything. You want to be fully invested. When I train clients, I have them fully invested in the pain of progress. Exercise is an experience. When you do things like cardio or go for a walk, that's when you can clear your head and think. You don't want to be distracted when you're putting additional forces through your body. If longevity is the goal. When you train muscles, the sensation that you're training, the sensation you feel inside the muscle, that's talking to your brain. And then your brain can recruit that tissue more and more. Creates a better experience inside the muscle. And so know the goal. Focus on creating tension inside the muscle you want. And then stop worrying about load. This is a hard one. Stop worrying about load. Start worrying about sensation. So writing your numbers down is important and useful because over time, those numbers will go up until you get 10 years into this thing like me, and then you don't really pay attention to them anymore. But it's good to get stronger. It's not a bad goal to want to push more weight. I get that. I understand that it's realistic when you go in. But we kind of might want to change the way that we look at our progress in the gym. Our progress in the gym, it depends off your goal. And if your goal is to create a better body, more muscle, and to be leaner, to create lean muscle tissue, which is muscle tissue, and have less body fat, maybe sacrifice the load for the sensation that you feel inside the muscle while you're working that muscle. And the last thing is focus on ownership during the exercise. Control is the passport to progress. I'm going to say that again because that's powerful. Control is the passport to progress. So having ownership of your reps means that you're putting force, you're more likely to put force into the muscle you want to train after you've identified the goal. So if you're doing some type of a press for your chest, and the goal is to try and increase your chest muscles, now you want to move that weight with ownership, and you want to direct that force in a very intelligent way to that area. And you need to be thinking about that because your brain talks to your muscles, and that's what recruits it. And so doing this slowly, keeping inertial forces down, keeping that momentum away and at bay, having ownership will help you train muscles better. So control is the passport to progress. So that's episode 28. So if you examine your workout routine, are you more focused right now on training muscles? Are you more focused on training motions, i.e. adding more weight, doing them in less time, whatever that external performance measurement might be? And so depending on your goal, you might reframe the way that you're looking at it. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We have a Q&A. So please today ask your questions. We've been collecting them all week. Tomorrow I will go over them. 9 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday. The School of Shred's coming at you on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and then you can take the show on the go with the podcast app and Spotify. Just type in The School of Shred and you will find us there. Your online health academy. If you guys want to learn more about the show and the topics discussed today, I'm giving out a free gift at schoolofshredpodcast.com. So head over there and it will take you all of about 30 seconds to receive this free gift. I'll see you guys tomorrow. With that, I want you to stay strong and healthy in body. Stay relentless and energized in spirit. And stay determined in your pursuits. That spells shred. Now go shred the day and get better in every way. Until next time, school, class dismissed.